Yeah, we'll see. We'll get him to watch a couple. We'll try to do it again.
It'll work. This was an entire thing for him, as I remember. So
Yep. Well, hey, I just started the broadcast, so now it is recording onto the thing, and then the thing automatically loads to YouTube. So
ah, oh,
what
just
I usually do is I download it because you can download it as an MP4, and then like right afterwards, and then I delete it from my YouTube until I edit it into something else. Then I re-upload it.
all right. Well, that's okay. Rough
So,
draft.
so that's the process. Alrighty. Say something. Let me see you guys on the big screen.
Big body Benzes. And
Benzino lenses.
I like your crazy ass background.
Yeah, it looks like we do.
It's like, I'm joined by my insane friends, Anthony and Floyd, who have cryptically.
Those are not supervillain logos at all.
They're anvils and Z's.
Yeah, S's and ampersands and Z's. Thought bubble.
You guys want to try this?
Yeah, let's give it a swang.
All right. Mm.
Future product placement.
Oh, I know. I'm ready for it. We always do that.
Yeah, one day the NBA will appreciate.
Yeah.
What's going on here right now?
No, all right. I hear you. Okay. It's just the best way to start it. All right. No more doing the thing because I don't know if you actually freeze or not. And then I have to stop.
My side of the screen froze.
Right. Well, it does a lot. So, but then I saw Floyd moving, and then I was like, oh, he's lying to me. He's deceiving me. All right. Okay. Welcome to the animeism.org podcast. We are going to be talking about the brand new season. I'm joined by my friends, Floyd Armstrong. Say hi, Floyd.
Hello.
And Anthony Gracie.
Konnichiwa.
All right. So we're going to be discussing about 30 titles or so of the new season. It's going to be pretty exciting. So the new season's been pretty cool. By the way, my name is Alex Walensky. Thank you for joining me in my suicide apartment. Let's start with the ones that we liked because I like to start things on a positive note. So I'm going to start with Charlotte, where in an alternate world, a small percentage of the children are born with the ability to have superpowers to some extent. Our main protagonist, Yu Otosaka, is a boy who awakens to the ability to possess other people. And fortunately for us, he uses it for the same things that you would use it for, like cheating on tests and getting the girl that he's after. So, Anthony, what did you think of Charlotte?
Man, Charlotte was super entertaining. You actually put together a pretty funny compilation comparing, what our main character Yu was doing in correlation with the dentist system from Always Sunny. That was hilarious because it was true. He totally does have like just a cunning appeal about him that just kind of makes him want to take advantage of everybody. I think the character development in general was just awesome. I think the powers that they gave to the main characters were also really interesting, and it was a good first episode. It's really difficult to come with like something that actually has some oomph to it, and I feel like this one definitely delivered on that. So I'll be watching the second episode.
I think minimum of the beginning, the momentum reminded me of Hamatora, the way Hamatora started out. Everything was really strong to me. Thought it was funny.
Yeah.
The powers were well developed.
Yeah, it's made by PA Works Animation Studio, which is the same that did the Eccentric Family from I think about a year and a half ago, and Angel Beats. And I really just love the main character. I am afraid that now that he's, you know, with his new crew, I feel like I hope he doesn't lose his thunder, because I just thought he was great. Exactly, the Dennis system. It was just such a phenomenal Dennising. And you can find that video on YouTube if you Google or YouTube, you know, Always Sunny Charlotte or something like that. So we all give it an A, right? A's, A minuses. What did you guys say?
I gave that one a solid A. It impressed. I didn't really have any strong criticism. I didn't think it was an A plus, but then again, I don't think anything is in this season. So
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I agree with that. I was thinking that today, and then you got me really excited when you said that God Eater was really good, and I was like, oh, maybe that'll be like the A plus, but there, I don't think there was an A plus like you said. I also give it an A. Floyd, what do you think?
I gave it an A as well. I just think the recipe of his powers and his character is. I'm excited about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good. Another one that we were all really into for the most part was Gangsta, which is made by Manglove Inc. Studio, which are the same people that made Samurai Champloo and Dead Man Wonderland and Samurai Flamenco and Ergo Proxy, amongst other things. Gangsta is basically about these two handymen that work with the mafia as well as with dirty cops, and basically just run both sides in this town that's just filled with, you know, just pretty much just Grand Theft Auto situations, as far as I can tell. The soundtrack is awesome. Immediately you will recognize that this is probably made by the same people that made Samurai Champloo, which was pretty exciting for me. And I think this one is, if you're trying to get someone into anime that doesn't normally watch anime, I think that this one might be one that you could get someone to like, just because it's kind of like you know, like a normal gangster movie that you would see on TV. Floyd, what did you think of Gangsta?
I thought it was amazing. The tag character, everybody really stood out. Even the story of just the first episode was I was impressed.
That's dope. Well, the way I feel about it, man, it was really good, just because like I feel like it reminded me of the existing subgenre of like the whole audio thing that they do, that the studio did. I guess it's kind of like how they pair jazz and like really light, quick audio alongside of like action scenes, and it just doesn't necessarily go with like what American like film does and that kind of stuff. Normally it's just orchestral crescendo like music and stuff, and for them a crescendo is more of like a really high piano and like just some really quirky beats behind it or something like that. But I think it makes you pay attention closer or something like that. On top of that, my favorite part is probably the sign language. Like there's just legitimate, what I have to assume is Japanese sign language, because, you know, they have different types. And so it was cool to actually see it from like the waist down. So it was a full gesture. It wasn't just like a hand in front of a face. It was basically like several words. It's not like I know it. I just knew that I was impressed when I saw it. And then they went ahead and actually gave the man a voice. So like that's really just good performance, because it was realistic, and I was just in general impressed. So as far as like, yeah, introducing somebody to this, I think that this would really translate, because you'll be impressed with the realism, and then you'll see what kind of liberties anime can take. And it was gory, so.
I agree. So we'll all be watching that one next week as well. Raka, Braves of the Six Flowers. That one was pretty good. I enjoyed the first episode. The story is essentially that this person is convinced that he's the strongest in the world. He believes that he is bound to be one of the 6 Braves that are chosen every time this Majin reappears to destroy the world. So he shows up to this tournament and that he's not invited to, and challenges both of the contestants. They're fighting in the final, and he defeats both of them on the spot. And for that, he's placed in jail instead of hailed as a hero. But he does become one of the 6 Braves when the Majin appears. And now he's on a quest to join the other 5 before they can go into enemy territory that only the 6 Braves are allowed to trek into. I believe the atmosphere is poisonous to anyone other than the 6 Braves.
Right.
So Anthony, you saw this one. What did you think of it?
And I think this might have been the first one that I watched this season. So it really set the tone, and maybe that's why it really had to be outstanding after this one in order for me to give it an A. Because this one delivered pretty much the whole universe setup that I would look for in like a shonen. I feel like the powers were awesome, and just the way that his personality stood out the most amongst everything. He was just like overtly confident, and it was kind of amusing because like he I don't think he has like an ounce of like lack of confidence the way that he spoke. Like even if they were stronger than him, I don't think that he would have wavered, and that's pretty awesome. So he has like a really strong Naruto type, Luffy type character about him. So I guess it's a good premise to build a show around because I was just into it the whole time. Even if it was somewhat of a cliche, I still award that because I was entertained. So
yeah. Floyd, did you end up watching this one yet or no?
I haven't seen it yet.
What a jerk. All right. Well, you'll watch it because it's good. Because I gotta say, I think that this is probably the best like adventure one of the season as far as like the people going on a journey. I feel like this is probably the most exciting one, which for me usually is secretly my favorite genre, even though I'd like to think that like the sci-fi ones are my favorite. I usually just like the ones where the Goku goes down Snake Way and trains and beats someone up. But I think it's funny that there's clearly going to be like more than 6 people that show up to this place because they like the foreshadowing's been pretty funny with it, where they're like, "Yep, there's always 6 people and only 6 people, so don't even worry about that because there's only 6 of us and only 6 will show up for sure. So no worries there." But yeah, I give this one an A. I think this one's really awesome. I'd probably put it in my top 3.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so
But I think secretly my favorite one so far, even though I could see it falling off because I think the stories are going to shift from like every 2 weeks or so, is Rampo Katan, Game of Laplace. It's inspired by the works of Itogawa Rampo, who was he died at the age of 70 in 1965, to give you an idea of when he was like a big author. So he was born in the 1800s, but he was like a huge, he played a huge role in like development of Japanese mystery fiction. And this series is basically taking his short stories and making like short animes about them. So the first one was about the mystery of the human chair, and that was a 2-part episode. And I'm not sure how many characters will return for next week, but we'll see. But anyway, like I said, he was a serial murder mystery enthusiast, the writer. So I think that's what most of them will be about. This first one was about Kobayashi, not the hot dog guy, but this little kid who basically wakes up with a saw in his hand and his teacher sitting Indian style with his head cut off in front of him, and they wake up together in the classroom. So it was an amazing opening scene. It also had the best opening song, in my opinion. And Floyd, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was pretty good. The opening scene was a big splash. It was like entertaining, and like they catch you right out the gate.
the shock value was there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the way the main character accepted the situation, I thought that was really interesting. I'm interested in seeing how his character grows.
Yeah, because he was excited. That's the whole thing. Is they're like he's being framed for murder, but he's like excited at the prospect of becoming the detective himself and finding out who the real murderer is. So, you know, and he's like, you know, 12 or whatever, 13 years old. So it is really, really entertaining. I think what he keeps saying is just, this is fun, or like, I'm having fun. Like, well, you're framed for murder.
This Floyd just reminded me, like, it's a guy, because I think in my memory I was already tricked, and you know, even though I watched it, was told several times that it's not a girl. Right now I'm reviewing it with you guys, and he said he, and I was like, what do you mean? Then I remembered that it's one of those, it's another subgenre. Like, there's actually a large amount of anime that just love to have ambiguous, like, protagonist type characters.
There's a few of them this time around. They're all great.
A lot more. I noticed. And the ones that I'm like appealed to, I think that's strange. But I mean, really, his personality, his character development was probably the coolest part. The fact that he was just like, all right, great. I'm the main suspect. Let's do this. Let's do it.
The art is really cool too. The way that the characters like remain gray until they're relevant to the protagonist. So it's kind of, even though it's not told through his point of view physically, it's kind of told through his point of view emotionally, because even people that are talking to him sometimes are gray until they say something like relevant or important, and then they'll turn. Then you can see them finally. So I thought that was really cool. That's the longest I've ever seen someone remain gray. It is made by the same studio that made Assassination Classroom and Hamatora and Danganronpa and Persona 4. So it's
like the feminine main character.
Right. Right. So we'll probably all keep watching this one, I would say.
Also, that was the one that the girlfriend was actually interested in. So that's always a plus.
It is always a plus. Well, let's see what the girlfriend thinks of our next one, God Eater. Probably not.
It might work. Who knows?
God Eater, set in Japan in the year 2071, where the world has been mostly destroyed by mysterious monsters known as the Aragami. An organization known as the Fenrir was made to exterminate Aragami using weapons called God Arcs. And anyway, it's made by the same crew that made the Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, which confused me a little bit because the backgrounds are amazing, but the characters themselves, like we were talking about earlier, aren't actually drawn amazing. And I don't understand if that was on purpose or not, but Fate Stay Night is like one of the most beautiful, animated series I've ever seen in my life. So, and you enjoyed God Eater a little bit more than me. I'll let you explain why it's great.
Well, I mean, I think most notably, like, the art is a little weird, but I think it's because they decided to color over their line art, and we have to assume that that's like an artistic decision, not like a slip up or anything.
Right.
So I guess they just decided to take this one in a little bit weirder of a path, knowing that they're so much more capable of Fate Stay Night is a little off-putting, but I was enjoying it because I guess I was embracing it as an artistic decision rather than something that bothered me. But I was staring at it a lot. I can't lie about that.
Well, what else did you like about it other than the art?
Well, this is probably like the most the developed action one. The other one was like there was an adventure success, and in the Braves of the Six Flowers, and Rampo Katan was like the drama success. I would consider this one an action one. It has like all the fundamentals that you need to have to build like a strong action thing, with the whole God Arcs thing, and how there was like a God Arc being developed for him, and he was a part of the new type, I think it was called, and the new types were able to actually like transform these God Arcs. So like they've already demonstrated like 3 different tiers of strength inside of the universe, and there was a shortage of people that are powerful, and we have this hard-nosed kid who keeps getting these awesome shots. I remember he kept getting really, really cool slow motion, like walking shots, or angles from his feet that would make him look really strong or whatever, even before I knew what he was capable of. And I think it was just kind of cool that they set up a lot of the relationships in a like an interesting way. Like the woman that overlooks him or oversees him, she was like trying to protect him, but was a hard ass. So we already know a little bit about her and how she's going to behave and trying to protect, obviously, her new trump card. And it's going to be fun to see where God Eater goes. It also has the best branding, and I'm a sucker for a good logo. So yeah.
You are. Branding will always get you every time.
Every time.
Floyd, did you check this one out?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You sick son of a bitch.
That's all right. It just dropped. That one just came out. Like
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It has a good soundtrack too. I like the soundtrack. I give it like a B+, and I have to say my favorite part is about 6 minutes in, so it's not too much of a spoiler. Don't worry. We're not emotionally attached to this character. About 6 minutes in, there's a guy getting carted through, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's dead," and his wound is clearly. It's below the belt. I mean, this man was shot to death in the penis. And I don't know why they chose to do that artistically, but I think I'm for it. I think I understand. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, like he seemed like he hadn't had any second thoughts until he saw a man's, you know, possibly most possibly severed penis. And so
It was more than severed because it was evaporated. It had to be. It was just a big splotch of blood.
it was way too much blood. Right. You're right. So
it's not like that's what he was wearing when he got shot. Like that blood has just accumulated since they threw that blanket over him at the hospital. Like it's been bleeding.
right.
Like, it was bad.
You're right. It was bad.
It was bad.
I think they were trying to send us a message.
Shot to death in the dick. So
wear a cup when
wear a cup. God Eater. It was a good one though. I give it a B+, like I said, and you give it an A, right?
Yeah, that was another one of my A's.
One of the last ones I think we all saw and enjoyed was Prison School.
Prison School,
which I really enjoyed. It's on Funimation, and that's basically about these 5 guys who they enter a school that has been for women only up until this point, and now they're finally allowing men in. But as soon as they're in, obviously, they're extremely overwhelmed by being surrounded by beautiful women, as they're the only 5 male students at the school. And basically, what takes place is the girls are ignoring them, and they don't fully understand why. And they decide that they're just going to go for it and peep on them through a very complicated and honestly, like true to life possible scenario where they were going to take a cell phone and dangle it down on a string from the roof into the girls' changing facility, and the phone was on a video call with one of their other phones that they were sitting there watching. So they're just dangling like this camera, and it was working like a two-way. You know, it was a good idea. It made sense. It was good. Yeah. So, and of course they get caught. But when they get caught, this anime series takes a drastic turn, and they're thrown into a prison on the school, and basically it appears that they're being tortured by some sort of sexy bondage woman from here on out. But then the first sexy bondage woman was too sexy to them, and they were enjoying it too much. So another woman. It was good. I think this is going to be a good one. It was very funny. I enjoyed the camaraderie. It was kind of had like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of feel, if that makes any sense. It was like a group of like goofy nerdy guys like trying to like hit on the popular girls, but a little bit different because anime, like you said, always gets to take extreme liberties where other scripts would, you know, have to settle for some sort of pie throwing contest or something. Yeah. So Floyd, what'd you think of Prison School?
The guy with the hood on?
Yeah. Oh God.
Because they all have like character turns where you think they're weird, and then they show you one thing and they're exponentially weirder. And the guy with the hood, it's just
That guy was awesome.
like I lost it. I couldn't even. I was laughing through the whole scene.
Well, this goes without saying, they're all extremely perverted, and it was awesome actually. It's like it just there's few, but several. Well, there's that's how there's a couple that have that. They just have a good distribution of like 4 characters that always kick it, or 3 characters, and they just have a really strong dynamic. So, like they kind of one by one revealed each of those characters' traits, and like all of them were extremely funny. But I thought that at least one of them was going to be decent, but it's really just the main guy. He's the only one that's like a little decent, but he definitely does what his friends do.
He's still down.
Yeah, he's always going to do what his friends are doing, and he's definitely not being like, I don't know, guys. Like, he's down. But it's funny because, like, he's trying to get this girl, and obviously he has to try to, like, keep his positive card up, but it's difficult for him to do it because, man, he's in prison now. Like, shit turned sour quickly in this one, and I didn't even know that the name was literal. I thought that they were going to be in a real jail. I thought that it was figurative. And then I was like, oh, there's a jail on the side of the building.
Yeah, he's kind of like found himself in like a anime Ben Stiller kind of situation.
Yeah.
Where like no matter what he does and like how reasonable he's acting, he just cannot like speak to anyone or like prove his innocence, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And like every time he intends to do something like right, he ends up actually like lying more or like being worse. So
Yeah.
it's fine. I think it's really good. So I'm sure we'll all keep watching that one too. I think I gave it an A-. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. Yeah.
There was a scene where he's in the changing room, and it was just like, I mean, like I know that he looked like his hair was kind of long, but didn't really look like that, like ambiguous. He wasn't like that girly, like, and he was in there for like a while. Like
They were just playing stupid, I think.
like
Or
a couple minutes, like fully naked, just chilling, like not even covering his face, just kind of like hunched over, and no one noticed. I mean, like I know the one girl had like bad sight, and that was it, but the other like 20, like he was just naked, like chilling. I think they knew. They probably just knew.
they didn't know. That's one of those like the audience is supposed to know, but we're supposed to act like the characters don't know, so that we can like know more than they do.
Well, yeah, but it was just a little unreasonable.
Yeah, but I don't know. He could have. There's been several more characters that looked a little bit more feminine than him.
Yeah.
And he was. You're right. Like, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on. Anyways, just that's the minus. There goes your minus right there.
Minus, y'all. Yeah, the other one that I thought was really good that I know you guys, I don't know if you guys are caught up or where you're at, but was the newest Durarara was really good because it was another like Isaiah focused episode. Like basically at the end of last season, he gets injured to some extent. I won't reveal too much from it, but he's chilling in the hospital, and just simply based on the fact that he's immobile and it was stated on the news that something happened to him, he's expecting like someone to come try to murder him just because of like the fact that he's like the simple fact that he's crossed like so many people in his life that just now everyone knows where he is and knows that he's hurt. So he's just sitting in the room anticipating like someone coming in to try to kill him. So the episode is just focused on Isaiah hanging out and kind of waiting for his demise and seeing who might decide to come after him. But you should really get caught up because that series is really good. it's one of the best ones. It's dry. It at least has the most. I'll say that it has the most characters that I like maybe in any series like that I truly like. I've got probably 8 or 9 characters that I really, really like in that show. that I'm excited to see when it's their scenes. And the back half of last season was really interesting because it kind of explained the history of all the Russian dudes there, and it was some good Russian anime.
I like Durarara too, as well. It's just this season hasn't really kept my attention.
You're talking about the previous 12 that just came out a few months ago? Floyd? Indeed. Yeah, I know, and that's what Anthony said also. But the first 4 episodes don't really do much with the plot, and then I think the plot kind of starts in like episode 5 or like late episode 4, and then it's this whole like Russian arc, and it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. No, I'm guilty. I'm totally guilty because I loved the first season of Durarara, but I find myself like if I'm not impressed, man, by like that second episode or something, I really do just like put it on the shelf because I have plenty more anime to watch that either I've been watching forever, Naruto, which I've quit.
I also quit Naruto. I hate them.
And happily quit Naruto. But also like it didn't really capture me, so I was hoping that I would just watch it a little bit more attentively, but it almost feels like an assignment when I'm watching it when I feel this way. So I like anime to remain in that I'm watching because I love it, not because I gotta do anime stuffs, you know?
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I don't think Durarara's quite at that level. Naruto's the worst.
Yeah, Naruto's the worst. Durarara is not that. Naruto needed to come out. That wasn't relevant.
Just the pent-up anger in Naruto has to come out from time to time. We'll probably talk mad shit about Naruto more moving forward. Even though I love it, god damn it. Just kidding. All right, so I think that covers all the ones that we really liked. Yeah. So moving a little faster through the ones that we just thought were like pretty good. This Aoharu by Machine Gun one looked pretty good. That was another gender bender one that we were talking about. Basically, this girl that everyone kind of thinks looks like a boy is going around, and she gets easily offended by things, and she hears a lot of offensive things because she looks like a boy, so guys talk like guys around her. And basically, she finds out that her shady next-door neighbor, not only is he a hot guy host at a hot guy host club, but he may or may not have taken advantage of her friend, and this friend actually needs her to buy her lunch now every day because she spent all of her money at the host club on the hot neighbor guy. So she goes to confront him, and they have a fight, and it's a good fight, and you should check the show out. And it looks like what it's going to get into is kind of like a survival games kind of show with like it looks like in the next episode there's going to be some paint gun fighting and some stuff like that. So, and the thing is that she's on a team that doesn't allow girls, and she's a girl, and she didn't know that they didn't know. But now, because they didn't know, well, she's also found herself in a Ben Stiller situation that she didn't know.
We have a classic Ben Stiller situation.
Again. Yeah. The summer of 2015 anime season is the season of Ben Stiller, as it often is.
You should probably go to Anime Expo next year.
Floyd, I forget. Did you see this one?
I have seen it. I thought it was pretty good.
How pretty good?
Well, the whole gun game. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting concept.
I think it's a we'll see. I think we'll see because it feels like it's going to get into the real atmosphere of the show next week. What did you think, Ant?
Well, I guess it's difficult to pass judgment on it, but I know I enjoyed the first episode, so I just kind of left it at that. It definitely felt like it was 2 genres at once, so I was kind of relieved when the animation and the action part was on the par with like the things that I'm really vibing with. So I'm I'm interested to see where it goes. I think the slow motion in this one was really awesome, and that was probably like the thing that stuck out to me apparently.
I liked that the episode name was "Let's Start This Deathless Death Match."
Yeah,
Really funny.
I was interested to find out what that meant the whole time.
Right, and then the writer Kenji Konuta worked on Blood Lad and Ace of the Diamond as well. So that's probably why we like it. I think it's like a B plus. I thought it was like pretty good action, like you said. I was relieved when it had good action, and it had a good sense of humor. And the two main characters seem entertaining, and they have a good dynamic. So I'll watch next week.
I agree.
Keep watching it.
Gotta watch it. It was a B for me. It's a strong, not going anywhere B as long as they keep doing it in this formula. Like because I think that it would be really cool if it was kind of formulaic. You know, like if this was about some sort of deathless gun shootout, then it would be cool that the next one is like totally focused as heavily on the next game. Because if you notice, like the audience was totally acclimated to what was going down. The people that were there when it actually turned into some sort of competition, they were just like, oh, great, let's drink our wine and continue to watch. So it kind of seemed a little sadistic, especially if it gets really violent. Like right now, he obviously they weren't trying to scare us or anything like that. So there wasn't anything that dangerous, but I feel like that was more of a foreshadowing of it becoming dangerous.
I agree. I think that's a good assessment. Another one we thought was okay was pretty good was Castletown Dandelion, which it's kind of like a lighthearted one. It was basically like dad/king has his 9 children, and he's forced them to live in a reality show that will determine who becomes the next king of the land, because all 9 of them are on the vote, including the youngest one, who I think is like 12 or something like that, all the way to the oldest. And I thought it was, it's named Castletown Dandelion, and the opening shot was of a dandelion, and then it panned up to a castle town, and I was like, whoa, that's deep as frick, yo. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. It's like I said, it's lighthearted. Like it's half action, half funny. But there was a substantial knee to the face at one point. I don't know if you guys remember this, but at some point, someone takes a knee to the face exceptionally hard. So you need to go back and check that out, or we'll talk about it later. But if you're watching Castletown Dandelion, just know someone's face is going to meet someone's knee at an exceptional and alarming rate. Did either of you guys watch this one?
I watched this one, but for some reason it's not really coming to me right now. So I guess that's mostly my fault.
I haven't seen it, but I like the concept.
Yeah, it's old, and it's the one where the main character is like, she doesn't want to stand out. Like they're doing this game, and the whole time that they're playing the game, it was the one where I told you that it was very similar to our wall climbing game, and she was like trying to lose because she doesn't want to win, because she doesn't want to be voted. So our main protagonist doesn't want to win this competition, but against her will, she's being placed into this reality show kind of situation.
I remember several scenes now that you say it that way, and it's funny that I wouldn't want. I don't remember it. It doesn't stick out to me either. It's like she successfully hid from my memory, but
which is what she wanted, ironically enough.
So if you want to show that people might forget, make your main character try to be forgetful. But other than that, it was put together pretty well from what I can remember.
It was an interesting concept, and I gave it a B-, and you gave it a B+ on our little Google Drive spreadsheet that we got over here.
Yeah, it was good. It was well put together. It was forgetful right now.
Right, and that's kind of how I feel about the next one, which Floyd gave a higher grade than us. We gave it a B-. I think he gave it an A-, which was Classroom Crisis, which is set in the future where interplanetary space travel has become possible. And a space aeronautics mega corporation has opened an academy on Mars, and that academy on Mars is basically it's called ATEC, the Advanced Technological Development Department Educational Development Class. So you will be tested on that, and I'm not saying it again, so you have to remember that. But it's for especially talented students that want to spend part of their time in class and the other part of their time working to develop rocket engines. And a lot of it was about the cost of rocket engines, and it was okay. It had decent action. The plot of the episode was someone had become a hostage on another planet, and they had to make it to this other planet in time before they killed the hostage. But the hostage turned out to be like this little twerp, and it was the whole thing. And Floyd, what made it stand out to you, though?
The character dynamics and the world building, really. The corporation, the companies in this anime are spread out across the whole solar system. So I just thought it was really interesting. It's intricate, and I can tell they thought it out before, anyone started writing.
Always a plus.
What's that?
I said always a plus to think it out before you write it down.
Yeah. The dynamic between the kidnappee, the victim, and the rest of the class, that was really interesting to me. For the main character to be he was the ace there, and he pretty like, it wasn't timid or anything, but he just handed over his leadership. I mean, rules are rules.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the next one, to your point, is going to be the telltale one of the series, because now we've got the crew together, and we'll see if I can deal with it or not, if I think that it's interesting or not. But it's another one where the first episode kind of explained the universe, and then the second one is going to have to show me where the plot is like actually going.
Yeah, it was like all universe. Like a little bit of character stuff, but I felt like they really piled on the verbiage in this episode.
And you will be tested on that verbiage, and I'm not repeating it.
It's a lot of dialogue.
So it was, it was basically everything. From what I can remember, I was like, man, there goes another word that I'm not going to remember.
Character too.
There goes another word I won't remember. Another one that we thought was pretty good, that we all thought was like a strong B, was the Gatchaman Crowd's Insight.
Yeah.
There's already been 12 episodes or 13 episodes or so in this series. And I'd actually given up on it previously because it has like a children's Men in Black vibe to it at first, but like minus Will Smith. And like, if you're gonna give me Men in Black, don't come without Will Smith.
Yeah.
But in this one, the bad guys are like a little more like violent and crazy, and like it's kind of like why I didn't like Mushi Bugyo and Bleach at first, was because they were just fighting these like things that didn't have personalities, like the hollows and the bugs, and I just didn't care. And then in the first Gatchaman series, they were just fighting like these dumb aliens, the first couple, like these like cubes and things that like didn't talk, and I was like, I don't want to watch them fight like future Rubik's cubes anymore, so I stopped watching it. But then I watched the first couple episodes of the series, and I think it's a little better. So I think if you gave up on the first one, you should watch the second one. And the episode 0, I think, the way I understood it, was like a recap of the previous season. So I think that you can understand it without having to go back and really do your research if you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But basically, it takes place in a second metropolis, Tachikawa, Japan, basically the second Tokyo. And they wear these special Gatchaman suits, these Gatchaman warriors that are selected by this dude JJ. JJ is pretty chill, but he's also pretty crazy. And he just shows up on you and instills the power of the Gatchaman within you. And it looked fun. They're fighting a group called Vape, which I thought was pretty funny. Like Vape in all capital letters. I forget what that stands for. But basically, these Gatchaman crowds, they make an app now, and you can control these robots with your app. So from what I understand, like things that used to be dangerous, like for instance, say someone's in like a burning building. Well, now you've got this Gatchaman Crowds app, and you just log that on, and you send a robot in instead of yourself, and then you're fine, and they do the dirty work for you. But people, of course, start using these things for evil, and so now you've got basically people fighting each other with this app. Some people are being good, and some people are being bad.
It's got a really good dynamic as far as
So
that.
yeah, so it's you know, not to go too much more into it, but it's pretty entertaining at least. What did you guys think of it? Ant?
I would give it credit for just being more interesting than its first half. I know that I'm a part of the population that just didn't stick to it when I was kind of into the concept and like the you know, the art style and that kind of stuff. But it didn't really keep my attention, so I didn't keep watching it when it aired its first season. And now this one I think I'm going to be watching, so I think, you know, that also means that I'm probably going to wind up catching up on the first season too. So I guess that's good. It's an overall strong first swing for me, anyways.
But oh yeah, I'll continue watching it.
Around.
Oh yeah.
We say it's pretty much a B.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear you guys for a while. I'll be interested to see when this produces the video, if it produces what I'm seeing or what you guys are sending. Because
too.
Or the best of both worlds, hopefully.
yeah, like oh, well that's the tranny porn, right?
Yes.
Best of both worlds.
Oh,
It's in Clerks. I'm sorry.
Especially hermaphrodite porn.
Clerks has a good anime, if you want to call it that, animated cartoon series.
Who?
Clerks, the Kevin Smith movie / 6-episode cartoon series.
yes, sir.
Anywho, yeah, I agree with you on Gatchaman Crowds. I think that I'll probably go back and watch the first 12 now. Are y'all still there?
We almost lost our lighting. We're good.
Y'all are good?
Yeah.
All right. We got two more that we thought were pretty good, and that's the first one's Ushio and Tora. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So basically, with that one, Ushio and Tora centers around the travels and battles of Ushio Aotsuki, who is currently being stalked as well as aided by a gigantic, supernatural, and sometimes invisible tiger-like monster. It's a great idea. And basically, he lives in a temple that his family's occupied for like 500 years, and his dad goes away on business one day, and he goes down into the basement, and he finds this door he's never seen before on the floor, opens it up, and wouldn't you know, there is a beast being held captive by a magical spear, like standard stuff. So so the monster's like, why don't you pull the spear out? And he's like, I would never do that. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, what would you do if I did? And he's like, well, I would eat you. He's like, well, obviously I'm not doing it then. So this goes back and forth for about like 4 or 5 minutes, from what I could gather. And then eventually they team up, and now they're best friends, but they also hate each other. So they fight other people and also occasionally try to murder one another. It's a good idea.
It's Naruto.
It reminded me of Mushi Bugyo a little bit in the way that the main character was. Maybe it was the animation style too. I'm not sure.
I have to admit, I didn't make it into this one. This is something I started and must have gotten distracted or something. So,
well, it's pretty good, and I would recommend it. I feel like it's kind of like Mushi Bugyo in the sense also where I'll be happy that I make it through. I feel like the first couple episodes are going to be like not so hot, and then it's going to like really kick into gear because it's like just like a Naruto kind of style where it's going to take a second. I could be totally wrong, just a hunch I have.
I crushed Mushi Bugyo, by the way. For some reason, I loved it.
I gave up on it and then ungave up on it because it was good. It turned out to be good.
Oh, okay. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished Mushi Bugyo.
Awesome.
I haven't seen Ushio Totoro, but it looks pretty. I have to watch it.
It is good. I would recommend it. The other one that I thought was good was School Live, or I don't know. I think they mean School Live because it's the Living Club, but it could also be School Live because it's got an.
I thought it was live when I said it the first time. I said live.
Right. I think it's Live though because they're in the Living Club.
Yeah.
Basically, okay. So this one has a freaking plot twist in it that I'm not going to reveal to you, but you have to make it to the end. And if you look at the comments on Crunchyroll where you can watch it, you'll see that everyone's like, "Oh my God, just make it to the end." The first 15 minutes, it's like standard, like little happy girls, like going around their school, like in a club together, just like having fun, talking to each other. They're chasing this dog around. The dog is showing, they're using the dog as a way to show all the different classrooms, meet all these different people. Everyone's having fun. It's a good time. And then about 18, 19 minutes into the episode, it is a total genre flip, brain melt moment. And I am just very excited for episode 2. And I won't give anything away, but you should check it out.
The description gives it away.
Does it really?
I know that the description gives it away.
I was like, Alex, please don't say it. Please don't say it. And then I'm like down here, oh, okay.
Dang, that sucks. Yeah. It was great, but there's nothing that I can say about it that you didn't say because it's like a pretty, I don't know, like I think I have a decently high tolerance for just like a girly character base and girly jokes and girly whatever. But
I have a huge threshold for it. I love it.
I can handle it, right? It's gonna be all country here. I can handle it, but basically I was getting a little concerned, and then I made it all the way through that. Like I want to note that there was nothing that made me want to turn it off while I was watching all of that little banter. I was just basically banking on your review of it developing into something else. So I just stuck with it and kept watching really attentively, looking for any twists that might hit. And there was really nothing that could have prepared me for that. So, it's a win, definitely. So I really hope that they just keep that sadistic feel the whole time, since it's a strong contrast.
Yeah, that was really nuts. And Floyd, I had read on AniChart, I don't know if that's what you're looking at or like something like that before, and it does explain the plot twist, and I think that's a mistake on their part, but I understand why they would do it because without it, people would. I mean, that was kind of why I checked it out, was because I knew that it was going to be something else. Because I might have turned it off in the first 10 minutes, but I did know.
Did you know what something else was though?
Yeah. I knew what was going to happen, but honestly, it still caught me so off guard because they just do it so crazy.
I'm not gonna watch this for a week. I'm gonna watch it.
You still haven't watched it?
I'll forget.
Oh no, he's got a good point. He should just wait until the second one comes out because that's going to be a way different episode, probably.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I didn't read it, but you did tell me that there was something, so I have like the benefit of
knowing there's a plot twist. Even knowing there's a like sharp plot twist and knowing like what it is.
I think I had the benefit of actually enjoying it pretty much in its full self.
I'm glad one of us got it like that.
I do it more. Yeah, that
Just
sounds
la 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 for a couple minutes.
We're not saying anything. All I can say is it definitely wouldn't have gotten my attention if they wrote what the first half of the episode was in the description. So
It's an alligator. The most outrageous lie I can think to make up about it is a massive alligator. All right, so I'm gonna call this section, guys, I'm gonna call it "Hear Me Out" with Alex Smolinski, where I desperately plead with you to watch upwards of 6 or 7 shows, and I'm gonna do it real fast though.
all right, we're ready.
Okay, so the first one that I think you need to check out, and it's going to be on Crunchyroll, but it's not yet. So Crunchyroll, cover your ears, earmuffs it for me for a second. I torrented it on the nya.se or whatever it is, and nyaa.se. So I torrented the F out of it. It does have 26 episodes that I haven't seen, but this is like a new series. It's really awesome, though. I honestly think it has the best action of the season. But what you have to get through is that it's about a story about divas fighting space crime. But it does have the best action. But they sing like a lot. And it's funny because their mouths move like with the lyrics to the song, but they're also like in an amazing action sequence. But they're like they are actively singing. Like it's not just like the background music. But it's about these divas, right? You have to watch one of them and you'll see that it's like even though they're singing and fighting, it then also is the craziest fucking action of all of them. Oh, sorry. I think I was gonna try to avoid the F-bombs, but I probably dropped a few. But
Too late.
too bad. Anyway, Baka Disney. So Symphogear GX, I would just say check one out. It's just got really good action. It's really good. And people just get murdered. Like there are people that were just getting murdered in this show, like really hard. It probably had the strongest, just like just like someone getting like tanked really good. Like, people were getting lit up. One thing that I thought was pretty funny was I kept being like, all right, I'm gonna throw another episode on because I kept thinking that the ending credits were coming, but they really just sing a lot. So I was like, oh, show's over, they're singing, but it was just like a song that was in the middle of the episode. But anyway, check that one out. Another one you should check out is Shimo Neta, A Boring World Where the Concept of Dirty Jokes Doesn't Exist. And it's in an alternate future where Japan and only Japan has banned pornography and dirty jokes, and everyone's wearing bands around their necks. And if you say anything dirty, or if you draw like hentai or anything dirty, like you're immediately confiscated, like the police like break into your apartment and take you out Minority Report style. It's really funny, and this one girl basically develops an app or something for her phone that makes it so she's allowed to be perverted for 3 minutes per day without the thing activating. And so she grabbed this other guy who's a new transfer into Japan, and obviously only Japan is experiencing this. So like the people in Japan are becoming super isolated. Like this one girl is like, how do girls get pregnant? I need to know. And she's like attacking the guy that's from like, I think he was in America or somewhere else. And he's like, I can't tell you. I'm not supposed to tell you. And, like things like that. Like everyone like doesn't understand like even how sex works anymore. So this is going to be like 12 episodes of progressing, like of bringing these people like out of their brainwashing and back into like dirty, perverted thoughts. But it's actually really well done. And it's by far the filthiest script I've ever heard in an anime, because this girl just for 3 minutes a day just yells some of the wildest shit that you've ever heard, and like about everything, all of it. I remember at one point she was like, girls have 4 mouths, and the one guy was like, what's the 4th mouth? And then they never really got into that.
Yeah.
No. So that was pretty funny. And the dance moves in the ending credits are just dope. It's a lot of like white guy dance moves, like stuff I can get down on. The live action Death Note, also really good, actually surprisingly good. And it's all right. It's gonna be intimidating because you're gonna open it on Crunchyroll and it's gonna say 71 minutes in the bottom corner, and you're gonna be like, I really don't want to watch this for 71 minutes. But it accomplishes like 5 episodes of Death Note though, so just watch it. If you watch it in 2 pieces, like L shows up at like 35 minutes in, so
Right.
like, it shifts. It's good though. I mean, like they were saying in Japan, like the character's a lot different. Yagami Light is totally different character. He's not that intelligent. He's not conniving. He's not evil. It's a very interesting contrast. He's like an everyman that just wants to be a civil servant, and he starts using the Death Note in an attempt to make the world better, but not because he wants to play God, because he wants the world to be a better place. So the plots to the episodes have been very similar. There was still, like, if you've seen the first 5 episodes of Death Note, all the plots will be very reminiscent and similar, but the character itself is different. And L was a little more cocky than he was in the original Death Note. I could explain the plot of Death Note, but you should just, everyone knows the plot of Death Note. I don't have time to educate people on Death Note. Damn it.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, so I mean that's a good spiel.
That was my spiel.
I was just worried. I was just worried what they were saying online about it just deviating. He actually froze like that. That's awesome.
I didn't freeze, y'all. You guys froze.
No, you didn't.
I was just doing
It
that.
actually froze like that, but you weren't doing it at first.
You were super frozen, yeah.
You gave me a pretty good face while I was talking.
Yeah, because that's when I lose you, I start making faces. Because I figure it's just gonna either upload you guys talking, which works, or it's gonna just be silence and me making dumb faces, which will also work.
Yeah.
I think a silent podcast of me making funny faces is a great idea. We'll have to do that one separately.
You can do ASMR of you making funny faces.
That one will just be audio only, though.
Oh God, not that thing.
All right. The last couple that I have to recommend you guys are Snow White with the Red Hair. Is actually worth a watch because just like normal Snow White, it feels like Disney. The story is basically that this girl has red hair and that makes her very unique. So this one prince that controls the land that she's in is like, I want you to be in my harem. You're gonna be one of my mistresses because you got hot red hair and I'm into that. I like the whole paramour thing. So he grabs the Hayley Williams girl and the Hayley Williams Snow White with the red hair. And that's that. And then some other prince dude comes and saves her. But the thing is it feels like Disney. Like despite the subject matter, it's going to be very well put together. It's clearly got some funding behind it. The animation was really like well done, and they clearly put a lot of time and effort into it. And I think you should check out one episode, and it'll feel like a Disney movie to you. It'll feel like you're watching like a Snow White Disney movie. But she's a pharmacist in this one. She's a pharmacist Snow White. That's her calling.
Pharmacist?
Yeah. I thought it was funny that she's a pharmacist and it was talking about she wanted the white with the red hairs. I was like, oh, you're working at the dispensary, huh? But that was just what I was thinking.
Widow with the red hair.
It's like, yeah, I'm looking for that Snow White with the red hair. You guys,
Whoa.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hey,
Hey.
you guys should watch Seiyu's Life. That's another one you should watch. It's centered around people who are just voice actresses, and it was like being back in film school. It was, the first episode was literally her just going to a gig and it being her first gig, and them explaining to you what it's like to be at your first voice acting gig and how they do it and who's there, like the director's there, what kind of room are you in, where are the mics at. It was like a very technical episode. It was cool though, and it was entertaining because the main girl was just like super nervous, but you know, she was becoming living her dream as a voice actress. So her motto was kind of like, it's gonna be hard to find a job no matter what I do, so I might as well work in an industry that I enjoy.
Mm.
But I would recommend it. I think if you turned it on, you wouldn't turn it off. I think you'd pay attention and enjoy it if you just let the first like 2 minutes go.
Okay.
And then Overlord, which I know you said you started.
Yeah.
Overlord, at first I thought was kind of a ripoff of Sword Art Online, because the story is that the guy is sad because like the first ever awesome MM or VMMORPG game. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's sad because they're killing the server for it. It's like his favorite one. He's built this awesome world in it. He's got all these friends in it, and they're gonna kill the server, and everything's gonna go away. So he decided, but honestly, most people are already off the server anyway. It's like it's a dead game. He clearly has more nostalgia for the game than anyone else, including his old crew. So he shows up in this world, and it's like, I think at midnight or so they're gonna turn the servers off, and he decides he's gonna stay in until the last second. And right at that last second, the timer that's counting down to 0 all of a sudden starts counting forward, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like forward. And all of a sudden he can't log out, and he's stuck in this world. And that's when I was like, okay, this is a ripoff of Sword Art Online. Then you realize that it's different because he's actually the only human being. And he's in a position where he's the king, and rather than it being a world where a bunch of human beings are now trapped together, he's the only one. And he has to determine if he even wants to escape, because he has no friends and family. And he also made the great, great choice to program his main assistant girl to be in love with him, like right before the server shifted, which was a good idea. So anyway, he gets frozen and locked in this world, and he has to decide, all of a sudden all these NPCs come to life, and they're talking to him and responding to him like real people. And he has to decide if, like, he's the king in this world, but are they really loyal to him? Like, he's never really met these people before. He's created them in his game as the NPC characters in his crew, but now all of a sudden they're real life, and can he trust them? So it's a different story from Sword Art Online. It's very cool.
Would you consider it cooler?
I mean, I really like Sword Art Online, so it would take a couple episodes for me to know that.
Okay.
Sounds cool to me.
No, it does. It sounds a little bit cooler, but you know, I only had tolerance for Gunworld and Sword Art. I thought Gunworld was freaking incredible, and then didn't really like the rest of the sword stuff.
Right. Well, like we were saying, the main character is stuck in his avatar, and it's like this big, giant Skeletor-looking dude.
Hey,
And it's really funny because he's the protagonist. Like, Ant was watching the first 2 minutes of it, and he was like, man, this bad guy is crazy. I was like, no, that's not the bad guy. That's the good guy. He just looks like a bad guy because his avatar is a skeleton. But it's crazy because, like, he programmed that girl to love him, and she is just, as soon as she turns on, like, as soon as the server switch and the NPCs turn on, she is, like, down. She's, like, DTF. AF, ASAP, or DT FAFASAP.
I hope we spell all of this out on the
Right,
video.
right. So it's a VMMORPG, and she is DTFAFASAP.
Yeah.
And that's the main story of Overlord. But I think it's going to be good. It's at least got me for the rest of it, you know, probably for a little while. I have to know what happens. I have to know if he gets betrayed.
I will watch it today.
I will watch it today. And now for this next group, I don't want to go into all of them because of the ones that kind of disappointed us. but we'll bring them all up together, and we'll just talk about them in a group. These are the ones that we thought that I think we all watched them for the most part, and we thought they were okay. Dragon Ball Super, To Love, Rude Darkness, second season, Chaos Dragon, and Gate.
Oh.
So out of those four, which one do you think, again, Gate, Chaos Dragon, To Love, Rude Darkness, and Dragon Ball Super, which one do you think might turn this ship around and become like really amazing?
What?
You know, the easy choice is Dragon Ball Super.
Right.
I'm not really excited about Gate. But
It's like an Attack on Titan ripoff a little bit. I mean, I know that it's going to get different, but the initial story is like they put up this gate and they have to go beyond the gate into territory that they don't control anymore. And they're sending an expedition crew from an army, and it just like it feels a lot like Attack on Titan, but for people that don't want to see other people getting like eaten.
Right. It also reminded me of Akame Got Kill, which I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was an awesome series like a couple seasons back. I really can't remember exactly why, but I remember that when I walked away from the episode.
I guess the attitude of the main character and him getting involved in that.
Yeah, he was pretty direct and everything. I don't know. I guess I just walked away from it. Just felt like it was a Kame Ga Titan, and that was like a decent thing. But you have to form your own identity, or you'll just keep getting compared. So
I watched the second episode, and because it came out, I think in the last few days, and it was a little different. I think it was from the other army's perspective. Okay. So it was kind of like the first day they showed you Japan going into the gate, and now this second one was from the perspective of like the people inside the gate who are in more of like a medieval kind of setup, like reacting to like modern day Japan coming back through the gate to attack them.
Okay. All right.
So it was all right. I think my issue with Chaos Dragon, which Chaos Dragon and Gate were both like kind of like to me. My problem with Chaos Dragon is it's about, this, basically like they're on a nation where like there's 3 nations, one on each side and one in the middle, and the 2 on each side are kind of like slowly taking away the one in the center. They're taking away its independence and controlling it. And so this kid whose dad was the king, he was always reluctant to do so, has accepted that he's going to have to take charge and fix this country. And so he merges with this red dragon thing that allows him to defeat his foes. However, the thing with the red dragon is when he uses it, he has to kill like someone close to him. He has to offer a sacrifice of equal value. So it's weird. It's kind of like Danganronpa in the sense where I feel like you're going to lose one character every episode. And even at the end, they showed like a picture of like the 9 characters that are going to be in the show, and then they crossed one out. So I don't know how long I'm going to be into this thing where this kid just has to watch like one of his friends die. Like his guy basically has to like kill one of his buddies every episode, and then that buddy's always going to be like, it's okay, I wanted this.
Yeah, because the list is right there in front of you. I really basically wish they didn't show us the list.
Yeah, like, which character will he have to murder next week?
Yeah, because it seems like it's like training him to become a king that's able to make the decision to lose something less important than the greater good every single time, even if it's like it's not really the humane way. It's the monarchical way or whatever. So it's got some really good themes. Like you'll notice on the Google spreadsheet, I was pretty heavy-handed. I thought it was a B+. I thought that it basically had all of the it had everything that I look for in a show. It was just pretty painful to watch, which means that it captured me a little bit emotionally, I guess, because it's that red dragon, dude. Shit.
You just gotta kill people.
Yeah.
Did you catch that one, Floyd?
No, I haven't seen it.
You rat bastard.
It's that Red Dragon shit, yo.
But yeah, it's Snow White with the red hairs. So To Love Rue Darkness, I still claim is funny because I haven't seen the first couple seasons, nor am I going to go back and watch them. I tried to look at the plot on Wikipedia. It was like, he's got to build a harem or someone's going to come blow up the planet or something like that. It didn't make any sense. So I apologize to the people out there that really like that one. I'm not trying to, instigate anything, but I probably won't go back and investigate further backwards. But I did think that it was funny this episode, that it was just him going around basically acting really aloof while like his main girl was like trying to recruit other girls into the harem, and she was going after these two sisters, and she was trying to explain to the one sister why it's like, no, it's only like, it's like especially true love because you're sisters. It's like, it's really she's really getting in the one sister's head, and I think he might pull this off. And I'm really interested to see if he gets two sisters into his same harem that he's trying to get going on. So, I mean, you guys don't have to watch, but I'll keep you updated for sure because I'm sticking with this one.
Yeah, I watched that stuff. It was, I was in the wrong environment. It just didn't make me feel comfortable every 2 minutes when they gave me what they call fan service. I feel like I was
gonna watch it alone, naked in your apartment by yourself.
No, I know, and I wasn't. Instead, I was with somebody that's a little critical of anime. So I just kind of felt bad. Like every 2 minutes, I was like, okay, all right. So what is this really about? Is it about the penny shots, or is it about this harem that he's making? See, the funny thing is, it is about the panty shots.
Well, yeah, they're all about the panty shots.
No, I mean this one actually
so
like
that's what the whole thing is that we're doing.
That's what anime is.
Yeah.
That's what the
panty shots.
Video is going to be called Penny Shots.
It's more tasteful than looking at Playboy, and it's more entertaining than reading the Sears catalog. I thought that was why we all watched anime.
Okay. Well, thanks for reminding me.
Yep.
I watch it for the articles.
Touche, Floyd. So anyway, I think it's good, but only because I can respect him for being such a D-bag. Dragon Ball Super, the first episode was kind of like Goku's family and like what they were doing and just chilling out and training. And then I don't know if you guys caught the second episode that came out yesterday. But it was pretty much just checking in on Vegeta's family instead this time. And it's pretty much the same deal where not a lot happened. They went to an amusement park and then some sort of like, it's pretty like a Coachella like experience, I want to say, like an outdoor music festival. And Vegeta was in the pit, and everyone was starting to get a little handsy and moving around, and he was getting real irritated and uncomfortable, and he kind of blew it and powered up and shot everyone everywhere, and he made like a big he literally like he lost his cool at Coachella, ruined it for everyone, and then flew away all mad. Like he like bailed like a cat that just knocked like a glass over in the kitchen. He just like, then Trunks was like waving to him. He was like, well, it was fun while it lasted. And that's pretty much the whole episode. So I have to give Dragon Ball Super a C+ because I'm 2 episodes in and I haven't seen any cool gold hair or fisticuffs. And I'm just after gold hair and fisticuffs.
No, you're right, man.
Goku went Super Saiyan?
Yeah, he didn't mean it, though.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He was just training.
He wasn't mad about it, yeah.
It's the first episode.
Be mad, do something.
I mean, they could have...
How long has it been? Come on.
Long time.
It's been a really long time. You give me a real...
They gotta like ease back in the water. They haven't been swimming for so long.
They've been making movies like
that's
lately.
Not an anime series.
That's all right. It's just we forgive them. This is definitely nothing to be totally upset about. They've always been pretty. They were the original offenders of the filler. Let's be honest. We all know that we were originally all mad at Dragon Ball Z for being the filler king.
It's the most okay for them, though.
Yeah. Now that you look back, now it's been several several years, and several Narutos have come out.
Yep.
Realized that Dragon Ball Z isn't really all that bad because I enjoy the characters. So
Is this a completely new series?
Brand new series.
Yesterday, it's coming out yesterday. You
Yeah,
said
let's probably watch an episode later.
what's it? It's not even called DBZ. It's called DB.
Dragon Ball Super.
Super, yeah.
Yeah.
So
DBS.
they're continuing the story obviously from the original
Like
series.
6 months after the last episode.
From the
Yeah,
end of
they're not talking about GT. We're ignoring Dragon Ball GT as we should.
GT didn't happen. Well,
It's after the Buu saga. It takes place after the Buu saga.
I hope they just outlaw GT. I hope that DB Super takes it in a direction where GT is
We all
impossible.
wanted to
It's an alternate timeline.
So is it the same writers? Same
Yeah,
staff?
dude, it's Akira. Like, it's everything.
All right, so now I'm going to transition to the final and worst section, the ones that may or may not be getting abandoned after the first consumption. Because honestly, like the 20 that we just talked about, I'll probably watch the episode 2 of just to see.
Yeah. All
But
of them.
but these ones that I'm coming up on, it's like a TBD for sure, because I might not get back around to them.
To be dumped.
To be dumped, yeah. Yo. But they might make it. The first one might make it. Actually, I Am, which is a funny name, like actually, comma, I am. It's just about this guy who can't keep a secret to save his life. They call him, his nickname's the Leaky Basket. Because he's just filled with holes. And he can't keep a secret to save his life.
Can't hold water.
Right, and so basically he comes across, he's like really into this girl, and he can't, his only secret that he can keep is that he likes this girl because he's too shy to say anything to her. So he finally like works up the courage to go talk to her, and she turns out to be like a vampire. He like bursts into the room, and now he's the only one that knows her secret. And she's like, well, you know my secret, now I gotta go. And he's like, no, I can keep it. So the thing is though that like he's gonna keep meeting more girls, I think, that have secrets, like different type. Like the vampire was first, but I think there's like a werewolf and etc. down the line. So I'll check out episode 2 of that one, but it was like just kind of stupid. It was kind of funny, but it was decently funny. It was funny enough, and he also had a funny crew of friends that were making fun of him. They were like, "Go hurry up and hit on this girl so you can get rejected, and we can be good friends to you and like console you."
I've seen this one. I liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't grade it on the spreadsheet, but I will give it a B right now.
yeah. I thought it's worth watching again. So, and if you're bored, I would say check that one out.
Yeah, I
Just,
just
from
want to see what happens.
just from the cover, it looks like it has good, good art, and he has painfully honest eyes. So everything.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's like they're making fun of him for his horrible poker face the whole time because he can't keep a secret at all.
Yeah, that's dope. I follow.
Aquarion Logos was kind of stupid and kind of crazy though. The first episode was really weird. The first episode is like Interstellar 5555 basically. It's like that Daft Punk movie. Like it literally like climaxes with like a 6-person orgy, like space psychedelic acid trip outer space orgy with 3 guys, 2 girls, 1 frog being, and 0 regrets. It's fantastic. And it's just very bizarre. And then the second episode is like totally different, and it's about like this guy who thinks he's Jesus. He's the savior. Oh, and the reason they have the orgy though is because this one guy broke his Bible, and when his Bible ripped in half, it broke. Obviously, it broke the interdimensional surfacing. It broke the world. So they have to fix his Bible, and the way that they fix his Bible is by having this outer space love orgy. I don't think that they understand the Bible necessarily, but I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing either, the way that they've approached this. You'll just have to watch it because it's so confusing. Just, you know.
You just have to watch it because it's so confusing.
I'm into it.
No, I'm telling you, they rip a Bible, the dimensions rip apart. Everyone's on acid.
Bibles in half.
Everyone gets naked. The frog has sex with all of them, I promise you.
Watch it right now.
And but then episode 2 is totally different because there's this character that's like, yo, I'm Jesus. He just keeps saying he's the savior.
Yeah.
It's that one's fine too, but it's like totally different. So the first one's more Bible-y, the second one's more Jesus-y.
Great.
I love everything about that.
So it's got everything you want. Yeah. Non Biori Repeat was pretty goofy. It was just about a little girl that's really excited to go to school the following day, to the point where she practices walking to school, and she drags a little stick with her to mark the route to school in the dirt while she's walking to school. And it's pretty funny. And then at the end you realize that she lives in a really small town and she's only going to school with like her family anyway. So even though she like does this whole thing and she's all excited for entrance ceremony and all this stuff, they get in the classroom and then you realize it's just her and her like 3 sisters anyway, because they live in like the middle of nowhere. So it's all right. It's just gonna be some like feel good little girl anime that I probably won't. I'm probably not like the target demographic, but it was drawn really well and the characters were actually like interesting. Girl's got a super good imagination.
You saw Nori?
No, Yori?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched all of them. I'm a crazy person.
It's kind of cute.
I mean, Floyd said he saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
They're always all okay. I can find something I like.
It's just like when it's like all cutesy and
Yeah. I mean,
fluffy like that, it just depends on whether or not the characters appeal to you. So
yeah, I can watch right through them, but you know, I sign up for anime for action, adventure, and comedy, and drama, and sci-fi. That's a lot, but you know, everything else, it's all welcome.
I watch anime to learn how to fight.
Right.
Yeah. I watched
Often like,
Forget About My Horrible Life and Escape from This Terrible World.
yeah. So you know, we all have similar inspiration.
Yeah, so we're all happy. Wagnaria was like, wasn't into it. It has so many positive reviews on Crunchyroll. Like Wagnaria is getting mad positive reviews on Crunchyroll, but I'm not into it. I don't get it. It was like a bunch of people working at a restaurant, and one of them was like a pedophile, and I don't know. Wagnaria was goofy. I wasn't into it.
No.
It was just them working at a restaurant. But it was just weird because it has all such positive reviews, and I like humor in anime, but I just didn't get it. So I'm probably done with Wagnaria.
it's like a family restaurant, right?
Yeah, they're all like a family, but they hate their mom.
I saw this one too. I didn't like it. Did I grade it?
I don't know what you do.
You
Yeah,
always.
I wasn't into it. Monster Musume, Everyday Life with Monster Girls. This one's all right. He desperately wants to bang this snake girl, and I don't blame him. She's pretty cute. The story is that they live in a world where they finally admit that they know aliens. The governments are like, all right, well, there's aliens. We know about them. And as a program to make us like meet each other, we start doing like a exchange program where some of us get alien girls and boys like in our family in exchange for whatever. So anyway, it's like an exchange program just to learn about each other. But there's strict rules forbidding banging. You are not allowed to have interspecies sex.
I missed that part.
What?
I didn't know they weren't supposed to do it.
Well, that's what the whole episode's about. You can't not know it.
Big snake boobs.
She did have big snake boobs, but the whole time, like every time they start to get close, because this girl is so desperate to bang the guy, and the guy didn't even sign up for the program, but he's just given this hot snake girl because they delivered her to the wrong house, and they're like, well, she's yours now. And the woman that drops her off is like, but you can't bang her even though she wants to bang you so bad. And so the whole thing is like this snake girl is desperately trying to get this guy to bang her, and he wants to, but he knows that if he does, he's going to get arrested for interdimensional sexing. And the woman that runs the program that's always threatening him desperately wants him to bang her, and also desperately wants to catch him banging her so that she can throw him in jail. And that's about where we're at. Honestly, it was. I think it would have been better off as a hentai, and like for real, like because the snake girl
Is
well, the snake girl just wants him so bad, and I just need him to bang at this point, just like for closure and to like get it over with. And if they don't bang, then no one's ever going to get what they want in this series, and it's going to be really unrewarding. It's pretty much going to be 12 episodes of blue balls with different monster girls, I think, which, again, would be a fantastic hentai. I mean, I'm excited for what Rule 34 has to say about this, but I'll wait for Rule 34 to get a hold of this. I'll probably stop watching the show.
Right, you're right. We'll let that develop.
We'll let that develop. Sky Wizards Academy is like the last one that I was like on the fence with. Did either of you guys see that?
Did not.
I haven't seen Sky Wizards Academy.
It was pretty stupid. It was like humanity has been driven off of the earth by insects and things, like crazy wild demon insects. So they have to live in these flying solar islands above the. They live in these flying islands, like high in the sky, and they attend a school there for gifted people. And basically, the main character is experiencing a Ben Stiller-like situation where he keeps running into these. He runs into these three girls, and they all think he's a pervert, and then he turns out to have to be their teacher, and everyone thinks he's a traitor. Apparently he was like the savant, and then he did something stupid that they haven't explained yet, but now he's the traitor, but now he's got to train these girls that think he's a pervert. It's a classic Ben Stiller situation. I'm not into it, though. Junjo Romantica Pure Romance, I would say you guys can just skip right over that one. It's
Not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me either. It's boys' love. It's three couples of boys.
I said it wasn't for me, but no, it's not for me.
Yeah, you watch everything. You can't just like.
Yeah, no, we didn't watch.
Oh, hey, I watched it. I straight up watched it.
I watched it.
Straight up, yeah. No, I watched it, and it was just like they were just catty. Like the whole episode was like the one dude was just super jealous of the other guy meeting guys, and like the one guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with this other guy I met today because we both like anime," and the guy's like, "You should only have eyes for me," and he's like, "Why are you being like this?" And he's like, "Shut up," and like that it was like it's like 20 minutes of like really jealous guys over other guys being with third guys. And I wasn't into it, but there's a lot of jealous dudes.
Yeah.
So over that. And the last one, the one that gets the lowest grade for me out of all of the shows in the whole series, the moment we've all been waiting for, is Himoto Umaru-chan. And I thought this one looked okay, but it turned out to be the most annoying thing that I've ever seen, ever.
Okay.
It's horrible. All right, so it's this. The thing is she's like a normal, cute girl when she's at school, and she's super talented, and everyone loves her. She's popular, and everyone wants to be her. But then when she gets home, she's like a miserable brat and only cares about like snacks and anime. And they like literally draw her differently. Like when she's at school and out in public, she's like a grown-up adult and she looks like a nice, beautiful woman. And when she gets home, she's like this little chibi character that like runs around, like she's like more cartoony, and she's like a cartoon like 10-year-old.
Turns into a brat.
She turns into Shin-chan.
Yeah, exactly. She turns into a little brat, and her older brother just takes care of her, and he just takes it. Like she just kicks and screams and whines. At like midnight, she's like, "Go out and buy this manga for me," and he's like, "No, it's too late." And she like literally throws a temper tantrum, and she probably threw 5 temper tantrums throughout the show, throughout the 20 minutes, like long temper tantrums. And the guy gave in every time and gave her what she wanted, and you never get any payoff, and you literally just watch this guy take it, and she just cries and bitches, and then he does it, and then she she's ungrateful when he finally does whatever it is, and she just treats him like shit, and then the show ends. And you're like, I hate this.
Where do you take it from there? I mean, the only way to turn it around is to just make him just start punishing her, just heavy-handed tempo or something, you know, like some crazy shit.
What if he moves and then she has to grow up?
Oh yeah, he could die.
What if we killed him?
I don't know. No, I'm just speculating. That's why it's
I'm
not a
just
spoiler.
speculating. So in the end, though, I think it's a pretty good season. I basically enjoyed almost every show. There's probably only like 3 that I was like, man, really bad.
There's some honorable mention that I'm sad we missed. Wooster's Hand-to-Mouth Life.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the shorts today, but I agree. Woozer's Hand-to-Mouth Life is actually very funny. You should check out Woozer, Ant.
I
it?
haven't checked it.
And honestly, Miss Monochrome is made by the same people as Woozer, and she's in a few episodes of Woozer. And Miss Monochrome's hilarious because she's just this auto-tune girl that wants to be an idol, but she's a robot, and she doesn't understand. She's just like, I want to be famous. Auto-tune, and she just goes around demanding that like random people become like her manager and get her gigs and things.
Yeah,
They're like extremely excited to sign up, and
that's really funny. Yeah, no, I remember when Miss Monochrome was on the list from, you know, however many seasons ago that it was, but no, I didn't watch it then either.
Yeah, I went back and watched the first season, and they were all really funny.
All right, good. I'll check it out. I'm down.
She wasn't auto-tuned last season, was she?
In a couple episodes, she is. She kind of does it like intermittently, like a robot, where she's just like, nah. It's just like
In the new episode, she was doing it like all the time.
Yeah, it's a good idea. T-Pain.
Yeah. And T-Pain.
So yeah, this ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was a real talk.
But we covered all of the full-length ones that aren't continuing from a previous season, so it's pretty exciting.
Summer 2015.
What's up with this Dark Santa?
Oh man, it was pretty stupid. It was okay. I mean, I don't think I'll watch it again, but it's based on like this little 1960s weird guy, and it was bizarre. I mean, you might as well just watch it because it's gonna take me longer to explain it. It was like a 3-minute video, but yeah, check it out, I suppose.
Well, yeah, no, this is looking good, and I'm getting a little echo, so I'll give up.
All right, take us off air. Let's do that hentai.
All right, now we are going to look at hentai, so thank you for watching the Animeism visual podcast for the summer 2015 anime season. I'm Alex Molinsky. Again, I was joined by Anthony Gracie and Flawed Armstrong.
2013.
2013. Let's do this.
All right.
All right, I love you all. I'm sorry. So bye.
Keep recording.